Hi, hello, welcome back or welcome for the first time. Exciting news, this week I am splitting my video and recording into two parts, which I'm sure you're already aware of. So this is part one, where I talk about me, everything to do with my life, health, fitness, my mood swings, my cycle, literally everything to do with me personally. Part two I'll do next, and that'll be basically my quote of the week and my topic of the week. So let's get stuck into me. I had a rough week. I had a very, very rough week. I had crazy mood swings up and down and everywhere. I felt lost. I felt bloated. My skin, it's so bad. It's so bad. I told you last week, my skin goes up and down like crazy. It got worse. It's down. It's down. Not really happy about it, but what can you do? So let's do my highlights, my lowlights. Lowlights for the week, I'm gonna say pretty similar. I was just feeling really bloated, so I wasn't feeling very sexy at all. Yeah, just not good. I was feeling very lost. I was feeling really unsuccessful, like I hadn't done anything recently, which is very untrue. The start of this year has been a little bit stagnant. Like I probably look very similar to how I did at the start of the year, but it's not, I haven't not done anything. I have trained nearly every single day of this year, efficiently, most of them. So I have made progress. If I can see it or not, it's there. Some people say my ass is looking bigger and plumper and rounder. I can't see it, but whatever. Apparently that's what's happening. Also, I'm probably gonna say I haven't really had a clear routine. I've been very all over the place trying to pick up shifts here, there, and everywhere. I don't have a strict training schedule at the moment. It's pretty similar. Like I do very similar exercises throughout the week, but because my shift changes and I've got a few personal commitments as well that I've got going on right now, I have a really weird schedule. This entire week I haven't done Pilates once, and I'm not going to because of the cyclone, so that sucks. It is literally going to be my first week in 8 months since I've started at my gym where I haven't made a Pilates class. I will always make 1 to 3. Highlights, I think, is that I found my fitness goal. So I was stuck this week. Some of you may know, I posted on my Instagram, is that I had no idea what my fitness goal was going to be. So, or like do a challenge or something. I had no idea what I wanted to do. So last year I had a weight loss goal. Pretty much achieved that. It was about 20 kilos. I think I hit the 20 kilo mark. I did like 20.1, 20, like something like that. It was like 19.8. And then I gained a couple back because my body didn't like that last couple kilos being lost. It gained it back, and I'm still about that 17 kilos down, 18 kilos down from my heaviest, which is pretty cool. It honestly looks like a lot more. I look at photos and I'm like, whoa. But that was a goal. And then I also had 75 hard, which pretty much ended just before Christmas. No, it did. It ended the day before Christmas. So this year, what are my goals? Well, I know I want to run a half, but do I have stepping stones? Am I going seriously from like 2 to 5k to a half? No. So maybe I want to run a 10. And I looked into race tickets, and girl, I've got finance goals this year. I can't buy race tickets. They are expensive. I didn't realize. It makes sense, but I didn't realize it was so expensive. Like what? $200 to run a marathon? What? Why? Like, I'm running the marathon and you want to pay to do that? Girl, I don't know. So when I first thought about it, I was like, I'm gonna go run the Brisbane 10k, and then I'll run the Sunshine Coast half, and then if I'm feeling good, maybe I can even try for a full marathon at the end of the year, like maybe on the Gold Coast or something, because I got marathons all throughout the year, most of them middle, but yeah. No, I can't. I'm only paying for one, if that. So I'm just gonna try and run parts. So I'm gonna set myself some dates. Don't know what they'll be, but I'm gonna set myself some dates for when I'm gonna run my 10k, when I'm gonna run my half. And obviously I want to run a half before I book the half to try and better my time. But also with how I've been feeling, another highlight is that I have been staying on top of most of my habits. I have still been making my bed every day, brushing my teeth, taking care of my skin, all that jazz. I've been doing it. I have run out of good cleanser and good moisturizer, and I'm using my cheap stuff. So it's still being cleaned, it's still being moisturized, but it's not giving it what it needs to have its good week or two. It's just staying shit, and then it gets shittier than it should, because I don't have the finances to buy that stuff. Hopefully next week, because I'm working myself into the ground this week, another low light, but it's fine, it's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do, you gotta hustle. I'm not complaining, it's there. I should hopefully have a tiny little bit to be able to invest into my skin, which would be lovely. We'll get into my fitness goals. So, as I said, the 10k and then the half. So I'll actually want to run a half race. Like, I want a medal from it. That would be nice. And then next year I'll run a couple of different races, maybe like 10k, 5k. Try and get some medals and all that badonkers. Be an actual runner. Get Strava. That's something I really want, but you have to pay $100 subscription, and I don't have that. My other big fitness goal that I want is, after I become an amazing runner, is next year, February 2026, I want to do high rocks. And for anyone who actually pays attention to what I post, you would probably know that, because you know my session with Meg Sutherland and how I want to be her one day, and she's like a world champion in high rocks. She's incredible. She doesn't just run, she's insane. I could touch on that about Meg for like a long time, but we're not going to get into it. But she's just an incredible person. Go follow her. She's amazing. I love her so much. I never met her, but I've heard many good things. One day, if I'll be so lucky. So yeah, it's not a secret, but it is. Like, I didn't really want to tell anyone, because I was like, am I shooting for the stars? But babe, guess what? Anything's possible if you put mind to it. Literally anything. I'm not shooting for the stars. I can do it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm telling myself 2026 high rocks, that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna start training for that. How am I gonna start training for that? That's a great question. I know that I'm gonna start running, because you have to be able to like run, you have to be fast. The faster you are, the better. And also, it's an endurance sport. Like, you have to run after like killing your legs and your arms and your whole body, really. You have to just go. And what's a go sport? It's running. So I'm gonna practice my ski erg, because I suck at that. Wall balls, I'm sorry, last time I did wall balls I got 44. I couldn't even get the 100. So we need to practice that. Lunges, decent, but they could be faster. I feel like I've never done a farmer's carry, but I reckon I'd be really good at it. Like, I've got strong arms. The sled push and the sled pull, I don't know like if this is true or not, but I think I'm actually really skilled at those. Like, I just have the technique under wraps, and I'm just like really strong full body. Like, my whole body is like just naturally like strong. So I think I've got those. And the rower could do some work, but it's fine. So that's my plan, is high rocks. So I'm going to focus a lot on my runs. I still want to do a pull-up by the end of the year. If I can't do a pull-up come December, like, I'm actually going to cry. I'm going to cry. And every single day I'm just going to be focusing on trying to get pull-up in. I've been doing assisted pull-ups like 2 to 3 times a week. Every week this year. And abs. But I'm training abs like 2 to 3 times a week, plus Pilates when I go. So I'm strengthening those. And they'll come through. High rocks though, dream. I would love to do that. It would be so amazing. I'd love to do it solo. I'd love to do doubles, like with another girl would be good. But my dream, my absolute dream, is to do a mixed doubles. I would love to do it with a guy, because then it's even heavier weights. And I'm a strong girly. I could do that. I could do it. Yeah. And then I get to train. And then the guy gets to like push me. I'm so excited for that, because I've never like trained with someone who has similar fitness goals to me, if that makes sense. Like, I'm usually, whenever I'm training with someone, I'm usually pushing them. The only time I've trained with someone to push me, other than a PT, someone that had like fitness goals, was my brother. And the guy nearly made me cry doing an arm day. But it was just about muscles. And he always trained to failure. Killed me. But yeah, it would be really nice to train with someone who has very like similar goals to me. I would just really want that, like something I'd love. I was in my luteal phase for most of the week. I got my period today, so that explains a lot of it. But I jumped on last week and said that I was in a deficit, and the next day I decided to not be in a deficit. I think I posted the video that night. I was like, fuck tracking my food, this sucks, like I'm sick of it, like because it was making me so mad. Because the thing was, it's like, I'm impatient, sure, but it's like, if I really wanted to lose the weight, I could lose it. I just have to be like really strict with myself and set myself like a goal, like a 5 kilo goal, which I hate the idea of setting a number goal for weight loss. I feel like it's best about how you feel, but for me personally, I need to have a goal. Good, but I'm happy with my body and how it is, and I'd much rather eat the food and have the energy and be in a good mood and have a good mindset, because I felt like restricting myself so much with my food was affecting my energy too much at work, at home, in the gym. It was affecting my mood. I was grumpy, I was so hungry all the time. It wasn't great, so I decided this isn't good, this isn't for me, let's drop that. So now I'm not even tracking, I'm still eating my prep. I have it with me now. I'm eating in between recording. I'm so hungry all the time. I'm eating so much. But I'm eating mostly good foods. I kind of splurged for a bit there, but I'm gonna get into that in a second. Okay, so now that we've got fitness stuff out of the way, I really want to talk about phases, like tracking your cycle and the different phases and understanding your body, or any woman's body. So for any guy listening, I think this is really important for you to hear. Women, because of our cycle and just how our whole body works, we have a 28-day give or take cycle. So mine's always kind of been longer. It's been about 30 to 35 days, and then usually like even 32 to 35 days, like that's kind of my window. The past couple of months, because I've been eating, I wouldn't say like more balanced diet, maybe I'm not training as much as I was, it's like gone down to 28, two months in a row, which is just so weird for me. Like, that's a short cycle for me. So yeah, my cycles are pretty inconsistent, but like the actual period is the same every week. It's like 4 to 5 days. First day is always the same, second day is always the same the third and the fourth, fifth, like it's the same. But the length of time of the entire cycle changes. And yeah, so luteal phase sucked. It sucks. You have like no energy. There's like something to do with like, I don't know so much about this, like it's something that I do want to learn and like be able to educate people on, like people, not just women, but like people in general. I want to be able to educate on this, is the different phases of the cycle and how they impact your training, how they impact your mood, your work, study, everything, your sleep, your food. Like I saw somewhere that there's a part of your cycle where you can actually eat more, like your BMR for that week or those few days is actually increased. So if you're in a deficit, you can actually eat more. How much? I have no idea. How long those days are? I don't know. What part of the cycle? I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in the luteal phase. But I don't know, which would make sense because you're a moody bitch, so you need to eat more. I want to say like so when everyone talks about like moodiness and cravings and all that, they always link it to a period. I'm not like that. And I know some people else that aren't like that. Like, I find that my moodiness, my cravings, and the worst part of my cycle is actually right before my period. That's when I break out the most. That's when I have the most bloating. That's when I feel the least confident. That's when I'm tired and I'm extra hungry and I have no energy for gym. So it's like, because you have no energy, you feel worse as well, because you can't put as much of what you want to of yourself into the things that you love. Like, I couldn't train as hard, like my intensity dropped, I couldn't stay as long. there's just so much. And if you're in a deficit or you're having a meal plan, you want to eat more, but you can't eat more, so you're actually even more in an energy deficit because your body wants that extra food and you're not giving it that. And if you're not getting enough sleep, oh man, I don't know, it was a rough week. And as soon as I got my period today, I was like, I knew you were coming, girl. I knew you were coming. And so I started to feel better yesterday, and I was like, that's weird, because I usually start to feel better day 2 of my period. I feel better and I have an amazing time. So for, like, the end of my cycle and then day 1 of my cycle, I feel like shit, and then day 2 onwards, I'm great. It's just a high wave that just goes like this and then drops down in the luteal. But that's me, and I have a period tracking sheet in like Google Sheets, where you go through and you can just put in everything. Like, so for example, this morning I went for a run at 1 a.m. mind you. It was good. It was great to like get up and split my training into different sessions throughout the day, because it meant I could give more to both sessions. That was amazing. I'm going to continue to do that when I can. But my joints were so sore, so I couldn't do a run as long as I wanted to. Like, I had the energy, I could have done it, but my joints were so sore. So I looked it up and I was like, is it like a thing, like, to get sore joints at some point throughout your cycle? It said yes, in your luteal it is normal to have sore joints. And then it went on about a few other things, but I was like, okay, cool, this is making me feel better, so hopefully I'll be able to run better in a week. My point is, with cycle tracking, I think it's so good. You can learn so much about yourself and your body. You can figure out what you're craving at certain points throughout your period. Is it consistent? You can organize your meal plan around your cycle, make your life a whole lot easier, so you're not stressing out about these cravings. So my point is that I'm getting to is, like, if you see that you're sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night every single night, but you find that maybe over your period, those 7 to 9 hours, your energy is still like, you're so tired, maybe that means you have to prioritize getting to bed a little earlier. Also, sometimes this week I have just not been believing in myself, which sucks. I have fallen short in posting on Instagram, like stories and reels, just because I just don't have the energy, for one, and two, I just don't think I can do it. I didn't think I could do it. I know I can do it. It's fine. But I've done a lot. Like, I have done a lot. And it's really hard to judge that for yourself. And this is why I try to give so many girls compliments. I actually have one girl that I need to try and find on Instagram and compliment the fuck out of her, because I would approach her at the gym, but she's scary. So I'm not gonna do that. But usually I'll go up to a girl who I see who like has a great outfit, or I just see them training really hard. There was one girl I saw, she was running on the treadmill. One, she looked hot, and two, she just looked fucking working hard and looked hot while doing it, which is really hard to do, by the way. So I went up to her, I saw her in the bathroom, and I was like, girl, you're hot as fuck. I was like, I was staring at you while you were running, I hope that's fine, but like, you looked great. She was in like this black set, and she was sweating, and she was tan, and she was just running so fast. And I was like, you slay, and I'm complimenting her, because where I'm going with this is that it is really hard to see you. Like, it is so easy to, like, let's say look at an influencer or look at someone in the gym and be like, they know they're hot, they know they have a big ass, they know they have abs, they know this, they know that. But it is so crazy when you actually talk to these people, they actually don't know. There's this guy I know, went to my gym, and he was huge, biggest guy in the gym. Like, I remember one of the first times I went and trained with my best friend, he was bench pressing like 180, and I like counted his plates, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen someone do that in front of me before. And I grabbed her and I was like, look at that, that is insane. I was like, that's twice my body weight. What the fuck? Backward. Anyways, I ended up chatting to him for a little bit and just getting to know each other, and he was just like, I want to get bigger. Like, I'm not big, I'm small. And I said, sir, you're the biggest guy in that gym, in like the best way. Like, you're the most muscular, you have a lot of muscle, you should be proud and impressed. And he's like, I just don't see that. Like, it's hard for people to see the work they've put in, the progress, especially because it's so slow at times. most of the time it is so slow. It's hard to see the changes. So I think it's important that when you see someone who's doing really well, who's progressed, who's inspiring you, who has just like gone from 0 to 100, just tell them. There's no harm in giving a compliment. Just go and tell them. Yeah, sure, maybe they hear that compliment like 10,000 times a day, but maybe they don't. Like, I've messaged influencers who are like 40,000 or 200,000 followers, and I'll just tell them, I'm like, hey, by the way, you're amazing. This is incredible. You're doing an amazing job. Like, just because someone's an influencer doesn't mean they're a superhuman. They're still a person. They're still like you and me, and they still did those things, and that's something that's like just so incredible. And I just feel like people should compliment other people more. Chuck it in a comment section. By the way, influencers, freaking comment on their posts, please. Comment, save, engage, and send. And I post, any influencer that posts like an amazing piece of content that I find inspirational, I will usually post that to my story. Not because I want my followers to see it, but just because I'm trying to boost their engagement, because I want everyone else to see it, and I'm trying to support them. And also because I want my followers to see it, because I thought it was amazing and it made me feel something, and I want them to feel something. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had to say about that. That's my week. They're my thoughts. Yeah, jump on for part 2 unless you came from there. Then thanks for coming back for this one. I've got 2 quotes of the week in my part 2, and I also have a topic. It's about being alone, the art of being alone. Yeah, I will see you either on that one, or I'll see you back next week. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, DMs are always open, so are my anonymous chats. Please like, save, follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're listening on or watching on. Thank you so much for your support. Love y'all.